What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode reviews of reviews of episode 14 and 15 of the Spice and Wolf anime. This is going to be two episode reviews because we missed one last week, so we're just doing two of them. And with me, as always, I have Bluespade.
Yeah, so
I was like,
of course,
I was just say like I was interested in what they were going to do with these episodes going forward, because this is like they're now like at the point in the story where it would be like covering, I guess, the events of season 2 of the original anime. And that's kind of what we get in these two episodes, because I wasn't sure if they were going to, like, I was kind of surprised because they do introduce some characters that I wasn't sure, because of course I haven't read the original light novels, so I didn't know that if these characters were like original characters to the anime or if they were in the original novels. But one of the main ones was the kid that gets introduced in these episodes. Like, I think it was Amarty, yeah, because I remember him from season 2, and I wasn't sure if he was an original character for the anime, or if he was like a character that was on the light novels. Obviously, he's obviously got to be a light novel character, but I'm wondering if he's going to do some of the same things that he did in the original anime and in the new season.
yeah, yeah. Look, I will confirm that these two episodes, I mean, well, actually, yeah, these two characters and of course the plot line of these two episodes that we're talking about does happen in the original anime. So far there is no major deviation.
Well, I will say that
from the story of the anime.
We haven't gotten into it yet, but I will say I'm not sure if the that one certain character that shows up later on in episode 15 was in the original series, which is that the alchemist, and her talking about the northern territories and everything. I don't remember her. But she could have, I don't know, she could have been in the original series and I'm just forgetting. But
yeah, she is in the original series. You're talking about Diana Rubens, right? The one. Yeah. So okay. So of course, the episode starts off with Lawrence and Holo, of course, continuing their travels, and of course they come across this upcoming festival called the Pagan Festival, and upon their arrival, they of course meet up with Amarty. Of course, and I mean, if people who know Amarty, he kind of he kind of falls in love with Holo at first sight.
Yeah.
Thinking that she is a nun, traveling with Lawrence, but of course, of course they don't really get into that as of yet.
Yeah, because of course, one of the main one of the main plot lines of season 2 of the original series was like Amarty trying to, sort of in his own way, like trying to steal Holo away from Lawrence.
Yeah, which of course leads to Lawrence feeling a bit of jealous of Amarty trying to take Holo all to himself. But yeah, I think one night Holo ends up drinking too much, so she kind of passes out in the first night with a hangover. So this, of course, leads to Lawrence traveling out all by himself. I guess he's selling like iron nails to another character that he meets up with. Then later on that night, once Holo sobers up, Lawrence asks Holo a few questions about I think something about what was it, the Yoitsu or something?
Yeah, like he was basically like trying to get more information on, I guess, her hometown, where she was originally from.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course, this of course leads into the next episode in which, what was it? It's of course Lawrence of course talks to Diana Rubens, who's a chronicler or an alchemist.
He finds out about her, I guess, through his other the other merchant that he's friends with. I guess he at first tells him about this other guy that might know something about I guess about like Holo's hometown, or one of the territories up in the north, to which is where he from there gets introduced to the alchemist because the alchemist is the one who knows about all that.
Yeah, and of course she goes into like I guess the lore or the legend of the Yoitsu, which like it's she goes into a lot of detail about this, and of course like she I don't think she really gives like Lawrence any you know any further details about the Yoitsu, but
Uh,
I guess
she
it's
she
I
tells
guess in a
she
way
tells
it's
him
like
that like one of the villages I guess was destroyed by this like I don't know if it's if she's like referring to like an actual like I guess it must be like maybe a similar deity to Holo. It's just some kind of bear creature that had destroyed one of the villages that she was from. Uh, and
yeah.
then she goes into the legend of Holo and how that people referred to her in the north under like a slightly different name, but
Hmm.
obviously it was her because she had taken about how she was the alchemist told Lawrence about how she took the appearance of a young woman, and she would transform into a gigantic wolf. Um, so yeah, the people there I guess are all familiar with Holo, and then of course Lawrence goes into talking about how well, I guess not directly referencing Holo by name, but like talking about how like obviously how he met Holo and that she was with the guardian deity of that village and the village he went through. Um, but I don't know if he ever like directly like says that it's Holo he's talking about. But obviously like if he were to go into detail, it would of course give it away that he's talking about her anyway. Um,
Yeah.
so, yeah, I mean, I thought it was, that part of the episode was pretty interesting. Um, and yeah, and then of course, like, uh, we find out that Holo during this time had been going around with Amarty, and Amarty, I guess, was showing her around. And I think like his merchant friend is saying like, you should be careful around Amarty because he's a lot smart. I guess a lot smarter than he looks for his age. Um,
Yeah.
so obviously something's gonna happen with Amarty as we pointed out in the original series. With what Amarty ends up doing, he's going to try to essentially steal Holo away from Lawrence. Um,
Yeah. I mean, like Lawrence asks like what she's been doing with Marty, and of course, she lies to Marty about like how she's working with Lawrence because like she said, I think she tells him that she's a traveling nun, and then she
yeah,
owes a large debt to Lawrence, which of course will lead into like a major plot point in the next episode. But of course that'll be told later.
hmm
But of course, she also mentions that um, that Amarty gave her like a gift of like I guess a piece of pyrite or something like that that likely like be sold at at a large price or something. So but yeah, but that's pretty much about it about what happens. And then of course one of Lawrence's merchant friends suddenly arrives and tells Lawrence something, which of course prompts Lawrence to, to I guess hurry out somewhere. We just don't know where.
yeah. The episode just kind of ends on that cliffhanger.
Hmm.
I yeah, I thought they were it's a pretty good episodes. I was kind of surprised at how much it is pretty much following the original anime. I thought at first because I mean of course it's been a long time since I've seen the original series, so I've forgotten certain parts about it. I do remember Amarty, but I guess I'd forgotten about the alchemist woman from the original series. I guess she was still in the original series. Um, but
Hmm.
yeah, so I guess it hasn't really gone into like like just light novel territory yet, where the original anime, like deviated from it. Um, maybe with how the second half of season one concludes, it'll be a little bit different than how it happened in the original series. Uh,
I could assume that like the like probably after this story arc with Amarty, it will likely I don't know.
well,
I'm just
I will
guessing
say
off the
like
top of my head. Just
if it does play out really similarly to how it did in the original series, I'm just like wondering almost like what the point was of redoing everything. I mean, of course, there have been some differences, like with that one character that was just made up for the original anime not being there. But aside from that, like I mean, and aside from of course the art style change, it hasn't really been like significantly different. So I mean, I would think there at least has to be something else that happens to sort of justify them going back and like remaking the anime like they have instead of just doing a season 3.
Yeah.
But, I guess that remains to be seen. But yeah, I don't really have too much else to say about the episode. I mean, also the new opening I thought was pretty good. I was surprised that Aimer did it. I like the visuals, but I mean, I like the first one too. I think they're both pretty good. But yeah, aside from that though, I don't have anything else to say. So I don't know if you have anything else to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, I still have the same opinions on these 2 episodes like I did with pretty much the entirety of the first court, being it's just retreading a lot of the stuff that I've already seen in the original anime. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing like like I said, like well off the top of my head, like I'm guessing like we'll probably see the rest of this story arc, then maybe they'll head off into light novel light novel territory maybe, but I don't know. It's not known from that point.
Yeah.
I think just like the only new stuff that I can really pull out from was just of course the prologue and of course the epilogue, if you can call it the epilogue scenes of Holo and her daughter talking to each other at their place.
Yeah, and of course, like we pointed out before, just the not having that that other character that was in the original series to sort of add like I guess romantic tension. But yeah, I mean, aside from that, it does seem very like from what I can, from what I've seen, it does seem like it is playing out really similarly to how the original series did, with a few differences. But I guess my main criticism really is just that it feels like there wasn't really like a huge justification for them to go back and like remake it from season 1 onward, like instead of just doing season 3. But maybe there is enough differences. Like they still have a ways to go, so maybe there will be some major changes like in the next few episodes.
Yeah, because I can't remember like another anime that I've watched that's just like literally I mean with the exception of Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, but with Brotherhood, like it kind of like rushed through all the stuff that had already been gone over in the original series, and then like pretty quickly got to the new stuff.
Yeah, I mean, as for this one, it's just like like I said, I just feel like I'm watching like like a more shined up version of the original anime, so far until like they decide to finally adapt the light novel content. But whenever that is, I still don't know.
Yeah, guys. But that all being said, until next time, we will see you all later.